Hello guys! So if you are watching this video, it means that the baking video went good. If not, well, it was a fail. So today I'm going to be baking a all from scratch birthday cake for Jay's birthday. He kind of knows what I'm making, but it involves like homemade chocolate cake, homemade buttercream frosting, and Kit Kats and caramel M&Ms. So if you'd like to see how this goes, just keep on watching. Oh, and by the way, I got the cake and the buttercream frosting recipe from Pinterest. So I will leave the link down below for those two, or I'll just leave the ingredients and how much and stuff that I used. So for this recipe, I'm going to grease 2 round pans. Then I'm already preheating the oven to 350. And then I'm going to beat the butter that I left out of the fridge for 30 seconds and adding the sugar slowly. For the cake, the amount of butter that you're supposed to be using is 3/4 of a cup. So that equals to about 12 tablespoons. And I'm also using unsalted butter. And I do recommend leaving it out overnight so that it's softened, otherwise to be a little bit harder to blend. In goes the butter. And then the next step is to slowly add in the sugar. And this recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar for the batter for the cake. So I'm just going to add 1 cup at a time. So I'm going to add 1 cup, start mixing it together, and then I will add the 2nd cup after I'm done mixing the first one. There goes the first one. Now I'm going to start blending. Here's what 2 cups looks like in there. Next you're going to add 3 eggs, but you're only going to add 1 at a time and then mix it. And then add the next one, mix it, and repeat. Okay, I moved you guys down just a little so that you could see better. But the next step is you're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And again, you're just gonna blend that. And then next you're gonna add in the dry ingredients, so flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And then after adding each individual ingredient, you will just mix that in. So first I'm going to be adding in the flour, which calls for 2 cups of all-purpose flour. What it should look like after 2 cups of flour is mixed in. Next I'm going to be adding in the cocoa powder, 3/4 cup. So we're going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Mix that in as well. Then we're going to be adding 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And mix. And then the next ingredient you're going to add is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And mix. Once you're done adding the dry ingredients, it should look like this. The last ingredient that you're going to add is going to be milk, and you're going to be adding 1.5 cups of milk. And the recipe says to add 1/2 at a time. You add 1 of the halves, you're going to mix, and I'm using almond milk. You scrape down the sides so you don't have like unevenness. After you're done mixing that evenly, you're going to spread it into 2 round pans, or you can put it in a 13 pan and pans bake for 30 to 35 minutes. But if you are using by 13, you're gonna wanna cook it for 5 minutes longer. With a knife, and the knife comes out clean, it should be all cooked and done. All right, and then while we wait for that to bake, I'm gonna start working on the buttercream frosting. I'm gonna add 1 cup of softened butter, 1/2 to 5 cups of powdered sugar, and you're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Alright guys, so we do have a guest down here, down on the floor. So if you hear any noise, it's Leo. Say hi! Say hi to everybody! Say I'm gonna help Mom bake! I'm helping Mom bake Daddy's cake for his birthday. And then the last ingredient you're going to add is 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Buttercream. You want some? So far so good, guys. We're doing good. I'm scared, but we're doing good. Babe, I hope you love me for putting all this effort into your cake. I'm excited!